Hey guys, it's Reagan, and today I'm going to be filming part 1 of a video, not series, just part 1 of a video that I need to split up into 2 parts, otherwise it'd be way too long, and that is my most anticipated rest of the year releases! Woo! Yeah, I realized whilst making a list for this video, I already had 11 books and I wasn't nearly done, so I'm just going to first show you 11 books and then I'll make a part 2 with the rest of my most anticipated. There's a lot of awesome books coming out this year. It's almost scary for my bank account. So much. And I would just like to thank George R.R. Martin in Game of Thrones for making fantasy trendy, because it's becoming a thing. Maybe I've just been blind to it in the past, but I feel like there's so much more fantasy coming out in the young adult section and it makes me so happy. So without further ado, let's get started with some of my most anticipated. The very first book I'm most anticipating is Gates of Thread and Stone, and this comes out August 5th. Yes, and it's a young adult fantasy novel and a debut for the author, and it's about a young girl who has to stay under the radar and hide her ability to control the threads of time. Yeah, doesn't that sound freaking awesome? And plus I think there's a labyrinth involved and her brother gets kidnapped and I'm just like, yes! Give it to me. Plus it's already getting some pretty decent buzz in terms of like reviews and I'm sold and I want to read it, so yeah. The next one I'm most anticipating is The Princess of Thorns, and this comes out December 12th. 9th. Comes out December 9th, sorry. This is another young adult fantasy novel, which is being, like, the one sentence that sold me on it was basically like Game of Thrones meets Grimm Brothers fairy tales. To my understanding, it is a fairy tale retelling book or some sort of retelling book, and again has been getting very decent like buzz in the already arcs that have been distributed, and it looks freaking cool. I love all retellings and just fantasy and just everything that's good in the world. And if you're wondering, I just read one sentence. It's about King Beauty's daughter, who's a warrior princess who must fight to reclaim her throne. Doesn't that just sound so kick-ass? I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. The next book I'm most anticipating comes out on my birthday, so you best believe what I'm doing on my birthday, and that's after my MRI, picking up this book. And this is The Midnight Thief, and it comes out on July 8th, and this is another young adult fantasy novel, and it follows 2 people. One, a young girl who is a thief and is like really good at stealing stuff. Like she just is like really good at climbing walls and being unseen and just all sorts of hopefully turning into an assassin. And also a young knight, and their paths cross, and I'm sure there's a romance, but it sounds really cool. And again, it's been getting pretty decent reviews, and I'm, like I said, with all these, I'm really excited about it. Next book also comes out on the 8th, and that is The Kiss of Deception. Another fantasy young adult book. Who's surprised? This, I'm really interested in. It seems a little more like romancy than like action, but also it seems to have a lot of intrigue. It's about a young girl who's like a princess and her family wants to marry her off, but she doesn't want to marry that guy, so on her wedding day she runs off, and then someone's sent to assassinate her, but she doesn't know who. And she meets all these, she meets some cute little boys, and she's like, but which one's gonna kill me? We don't know, but we'll find out. Anyway, I'm hoping some more like fantastical elements get blended into the story, but again, it's been getting really good reviews, and I'm really excited. Ooh, the lighting's bad. Hey! The next book also comes out on the 8th, and is another fantasy book. It's like all the publishers got together and was like, how do we make Reagan's birthday the best day in the world? I know, let's release all the fantasy books. And the book is called The Queen of Terraling, and I think this is an adult fantasy book, and this centers around a young woman who must reclaim her dead mother's throne, but of course there's a lot of intrigue and conflict, and like the evil witch sorceress doesn't want her to. This has been getting mixed reviews, however, I'm curious to see what I think about it, and I know it has some more adult themes, so be wary if you're a child, but yes. The next book is Snow Like Ashes, and this comes out on October 28th. To October 24th. And guess what, guys? It's another young adult fantasy novel. And this is being dubbed like Game of Thrones meets Graceling, which I love both those things, so I'm really excited about it. It follows a young girl training to be a warrior in like a war-torn kingdom who has been struggling, and apparently there's a lot of intrigue and conflict and darkness and finding one's true self, which all those things I enjoy very much. I'm very much anticipating this. The next book is Air Fire by Sarah J. Maas, book 3 of the Throne of Glass series. My most anticipated of the year. It's gonna be awesome. I already have an arc. but you best be knowing I'm anticipating getting that beautiful finished hardback copy and probably rereading the whole thing on its release day. It's gonna be amazing. If you haven't started this series yet, please do. Please for me. Thanks. The next book I'm anticipating is Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. This is the first book of her new series that's being released. I've heard great things about her Star-Crossed trilogy, though I don't really want to read it because I took this class over the Trojan War and I hate the Trojan War now and Helen of Troy. I'm just sick of it and I need more time to like get over that. However, this series really appeals to me. Guess what? It's another young adult fantasy series. But from what I can gather, it seems to be like alternate Salems. So it's about a girl who's living in like Salem. There's no witchcraft. But then she somehow gets transported to like this alternate Salem, which has witchcraft, and then she gets witchcraft. I don't know. It sounds freaking cool. And maybe there's a trial involving fire in it. Who knows? Not me. Josephine Angelini knows though. I'm sure it's gonna be great. This comes out, I don't know if I mentioned, September 2nd, same day as Heir of Fire. It's gonna be a good day. The next book is, ooh, look at that lighting change. Thanks, son. The next book is Into the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. This is book 3 and the final book to the Darkest Minds trilogy. I really enjoyed this trilogy and I'm very much excited to finish this guy up. So, yeah. Book is The Gathering Darkness, which comes out December 9th, and this is the third book to the Fallen Kingdoms series. I've read the first 2 of this series, really enjoyed them. It's one of those, is another young adult fantasy novel, which kind of is claiming to be, you know, like Game of Thrones meets young adult books, and it's actually quite good. So if you haven't read Fallen Kingdoms, I definitely would check it out. It follows 4 different perspectives and they all kind of intertwine. It's very cool. Lots of intrigue. Really interesting. The next one I wrote down in my notepad as Mortal Darkness, but it's not Mortal Darkness. It's Mortal Heart, and that comes out on November 4th. And this is the 3rd and final book to the His Fair Assassin trilogies. And I really enjoyed these. I've really enjoyed the first one, and I haven't read the second one yet, but I plan to before this 3rd one comes out. But basically each book follows a different assassin in this kick-butt nunnery of death, which pumps out assassins that kill people. And the 3rd book has a girl on the cover with a bow and arrow, and if you didn't know this about me, I love Legolas, so I pretty much love everything with a bow and arrow by default. So I'm really excited for this. And the last book is The Iron Trial, and this comes out September 9th, and this is written by both Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. What a duo on that one. This is a middle grade fantasy adventure book. I don't know too much about it, but I know it's by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black, and that's pretty much all I need to know because I'm gonna buy it because they wrote it. And it looks amazing. So there you go, guys. Those are the 11 books that I'm highly anticipating. Don't fret if there's a book you are really excited about that's coming out, because I'm sure I'm excited about it and it'll be in my next video, so never fear. But hopefully you found out about some new titles, specifically fantasy titles, that you're interested in. Let me know down below any book that you're highly anticipating, and or if you found anything new from this video. I will see you guys soon with another video.